Okay, we are going to make Cookie Clicker. Now, obviously, what you want to do is open up Godot. Let me down, let me down, let me down. Open up Godot, create new game project, put on compatibility. It's best, really. Just name it Cookie Clicker. I'm on Godot 4.6.3, and then you're just going to press create, and it should open your new Godot project. Okay, I'll explain everything. Inspector, signals, groups. Inspector's the most used. Signals we'll be using. Will we? No, we won't be using signals. Oh, we will actually. Will we? Yes, for buttons. Groups we won't be using at all. This should say compatibility. If it doesn't change it, it'll ask if you want to do it. Just press save and restart, and it'll change. If you're on phone or you have his mobile, I do apologize. It still works. It's just really difficult to follow along. We don't need asset lib unless you want it, in which case you can find like different things. So you can find cookies, command, persistent, cookies, nested. So what you're going to do, head to 2D, because obviously Cookie Click is a 2D game. And we're kind of just going to make it all within one window because I'm quite lazy. But you can do it differently. This is the easiest way to make it. So you're going to come over to the left. And obviously the whole game is 2D. But it's not a user interface. It's just 2D. So you're going to press on 2D scene. Double click or right click and rename. Or press F2. Any of them work, and just name it. We're going to name this one main. Just like that. Now, we're going to keep it very, very simple. I'm going to turn my music down because I can barely hear. What we're going to do is I'm going to make it so I can hear myself. We are going to go, and we are going to press the plus. We're going to search for a panel. So, how I did that, you can press Control and A, or you can press this plus. Just type in PAN. This one should be highlighted. If it's not, type in panel fully. Press create or just press enter. Now down here, we don't need to worry about this right now. If you want to keep this, you can. We're not. So I'm going to press delete, remove, right click, new folder, scenes. Extend this so you can press this arrow or double click this. Click this. Scripts. Another one. Assets. Feel free to pause and obviously catch up. I'm pretty quick because I've done it a million times. So, press Ctrl and S to save. Save it in scenes. Now you have a main scene. So if you were to close this, you're in empty. Double click this, you're back in main. Main panel. Grab this panel. You can see it's got rounded edges. This is just using scroll wheel to zoom in. You can use this as well. You don't need to be looking at it right now. All you need to know is that it has rounded edges. Theme overrides on the side in your inspector. Styles. Panel. Right click that. Style box flat. Now it's nice and square. What we're going to do, click it. Grab this corner. Drag. Now, what this right here is, this box, that is what the player sees. So if you were to press play right now, select the current, you can see this box exactly. Now obviously you're thinking, why isn't it full screen? Press to fit, doesn't fit. Keep aspect ratio, doesn't fit. So what we're going to do, project settings, well, project settings, window. As you can see, this is the size. You can always set this to 1920 by 1080, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go down, mode, viewport, aspect, expand. Or you can do keep, doesn't matter. But now, if you press play, fixes itself to the size. No matter what, it will keep the size. So I'm going to change that so it expands. And the reason I do that is now it goes to the edge, no matter what. Although there still is a gap here. So I'm going to go back in project settings. and ignore. And now it fits all the way. The only problem this does have, say you had some text, you don't have to do this, I'm just giving an example. So you have some text there, you press play. See how it's kind of stretched and it's kind of blurry. Project settings, go down, rendering 2D, I'm incorrect. It's in textures, default texture filter, nearest. And now, it's just as bad. And that's because it's not an why. So what we're going to do is we'll just press keep for now. We'll keep it on keep it on keep. Right. Cookie clicker. Obviously we don't want this overhanging. So zoom in on the bottom right corner. Grab the panel. Move it. So it's nice and snug with the camera. Now if you press play. Press select current if you haven't already, and it fits quite nicely. If you have it on keep aspect ratio or fixed size, doesn't matter. It fits very, very nicely. So what we're going to do, now, change the color. So go over to your panel, theme override styles, panel, background color. Just change it to a nice, easy on the eyes, lightish blue. So I like that. If you want to use the exact one, it is hex 97CEDF. There you go. Keeps the same. So what we're going to do, rename this. So double click, F2, or right click and rename. I'm going to name it BG for background. Click on it, hold left control, and press D, BG2. And we're going to rename this to a shop. Doesn't have to be capitals. I just like it to be capitals. Doesn't have to be at all. It can be named whatever you want. But I like to keep it very simple. So background and shop. We're going to drag shop on top of background. So just click it, click and drag. As you can see, you can move it. You don't want it to look like this. That means moving above. You don't want it to look like this. That means moving it into the parent of the scene, which means it'll go back to where it is now. And you don't want it to be there. You want it to have this outline around BG. Now it's a child. So we go over to theme overrides. In the inspector again. This is on shop. Right click the style box, make unique. And what that does is now, say we didn't do that, which I've just undone, and you change the color of this, that one changes as well, which isn't useful for us. So we're going to make unique, and we are going to just make it a darker blue like that. If you want to use the same as me, 37B 3DD, the color I'm using. Let's start with the main cookie. So Control A while selecting the BG, or press the plus, it's up to you. And we're going to add a button. We don't want any of these. These are all not what we want. You can use a texture button, but for this, we're just going to use a button for now. We'll change it to a texture button in a later episode. Grab a texture button, or in our case, a normal button. Looks like this. Again, rounded corners, not very round. Hold your left shift, grab the bottom corner of it, and drag out. And what that does is uniform scale. So without it, it does this. But if you hold left shift, it keeps it square. We're going to want to make it about this big. Don't want it too big. You can have it about that big. I wouldn't have it that big. I'd have it about there. You can use this tool or press Q. So this one is Q, select mode. W, move mode. E, rotation. And R is scale. We don't want to scale the button. we want to move it. So just press on this button, or you can stay on here and move it. It just means if you accidentally click off, you're going to drag the wrong thing. So let's use this. And just stick it somewhere on this left side. If we go have a look at Cookie Clicker. If we go look at Cookie Clicker, it's on the left side somewhere. It's always on the left side. And you have the shop on the right. And you have this area here, which we're ignoring for now. But we might add it later if we want to. It's more of a only if you want it kind of thing. So what we've decided to do is put it somewhere on this left side. Doesn't matter where. You could put it here if you wanted. Here if you wanted. Don't put it here unless you want to invert it. And don't put it off the screen. So remember our box is this size. So keep it somewhere here-ish. Doesn't have to be exact. That's where mine's going. I'm going to go in this text box. So button, inspector, text, click, me. I like capitals. Scroll down while having your button selected. Theme overrides. Font sizes. I'm going to double it. So you can do 16. And you can actually type 16 times 2. Because Godot actually does the math for you. Or just put in 32. Or you could do 32 plus 100. Or you could do 10. And then times 10 by 3. Or 1 by 3 in that case. But Godot always does the math for you. So if you were to do 10 times 6.7 plus 1.5, it'll do all that for you. But we just want 32 for now. Now, for this entire time, I'm going to keep saying this one thing. Turn off your focus mode. Otherwise, if we press play right now, and we click this button, obviously nothing's going to happen. The button clicks. But if you now press enter, or spacebar, you see that? It's clicking the button. And we don't want that. That makes it way too easy. We're going to come over here, go to focus, focus, mode, none. And now if you do that, that clicks, press spacebar, nothing, enter, nothing. But if you click it, it works, which is exactly what we want. So, currently this does nothing. Now we're going to do something a little bit more advanced, but that is for the pure fact it saves headache later. So, say you were to script this, and you had a variable. So, say we just had a variable somewhere called clicks. You can only then mention clicks in that one script. We are going to be entering clicks absolutely everywhere. So why not make it global? So come down to scripts, right click, create new, and script. So you'll see the path is in scripts / and then this is the script. We're just going to call it global. You can name it anything. You could name it monkey. You could name it tart, Godot file, game, clicks, cookie thingy, whatever you want. But we're just going to go with global. You don't have to have a capital G. I like one. Because again, that's just how I work. I'm going to make a variable. Now this is where I'm going to talk again about variables and constants. So a variable is something that can change. It is variable. Constant, or a const, is something that is constantly that. So this, no matter what, is always 0. So say I had const clicks equals 0, it would never change. Even if you ask it to change, it will not change. So we don't want a constant, we want a variable. So that when we ask it to change, it's like, okay, I'll change. Which is exactly what we want. So Control S to save that. As you can see, it's down here in scripts. Project settings, go to globals, hence the name global. Auto load, and then on this file, press that. Find your script. I've put it in the scripts folder. Double click that. Node name, global. Or you can change it to whatever you want, but I like to keep it global. Press add. Make sure it's enabled. And press close. So now no matter what, if we say global.clicks, that references this, no matter where we put it. So what we're going to do, what you will notice as well is with a global script, you don't need to attach it to anywhere, because it is a script that is basically, Godot looks at it and goes, no matter where this is, I can see it and I know what it is. So we're going to go to main, press on the plus, keep it as main, but as you can see, it's trying to save it to scenes. So what we can do instead, press this folder, press this arrow to go to the parent folder, which is our whole project. Go to scripts and save it as main. So now it's in scripts, or you can just do scripts right there, main.gd. So instead of it saying scenes, just change that to scripts. Create, and there you go. You now have an attached script to main. Go to script. You should see this. You can delete all of that. And you can see now that if we do press on this button, and we're going to name this, so just again, rename F2 or double click. If you were to name it, I would name it cookie. Why not? Go over to signals. If you can't see it and it's like this, press this arrow. It's because the menu isn't quite big enough. As you can see, it changes. So go to signals, pressed, and connect, or double click on pressed. Does the exact same thing. Make sure main is selected. So that's now referencing this script. And just press connect. What it does is makes a function for us. So it's saying function on cookie pressed. So when somebody clicks this button, then it does this. So functions we use no matter what. So I could say you were making Flappy Bird. You'd have a func win. And you'd have a function lose. We're not making Flappy Bird, so we don't need those. And this isn't 4 spaces, although it might look like it. It's not. It is the tab button on your keyboard. And what that does is it places it below this function. So anytime there's a colon, or I don't know what Americans call it, one of these, anytime there's one of them, it's expecting an indent, which is a tab. So when you press tab, it makes an indent. Now, if I was to go like this, it doesn't work, because it's expecting something on this line, but it's finding an indent instead. And if this is like this, it's not inside the function. Say there was something in the function, it's going to think this is in class body. It doesn't know why. It doesn't know why it's there. So say you had, when the cookie's pressed, say we did global dot clicks plus equals 1. We have to use plus equals here because it's Python based. This will work. But if you were to move this outside, why is there something in the class body? This is the class body. So anything that isn't inside of this is in the class body. And it doesn't know why, because it hasn't got a function. So imagine this is a parent, and this is a child. Same with this. That's a parent. There's a gap. There's a child. So we can get rid of that. But we need this. So when the cookie is pressed, global.clicks plus equals 1. Obviously, if you were to have named this script monkey, and then in here it says name global, whatever this name is, you need to put here. So say that said monkey, you put monkey.clicks. But we obviously use global. But that is up to you what you name it. So, currently, if you press play, you have a button. You can click it as much as you want. Enter doesn't work. Spacebar doesn't work. But we're not actually doing anything right now. Are we? We don't know. We are. We just can't see it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say print string global dot clicks, just like that. So print inside these brackets, right there. You can put global dot clicks. That might work. It only works when it wants to with that. So just keep it not full screen. There you go. As you can see down here, that's how many clicks you have. The only thing is, I stopped on the number. We don't need it to be there, because when you're playing the game, you can't see that, can you? So, right here, what we want to do is we're going to go to 2D. Make sure you're in your main scene. If you're accidentally in an empty one, press to close. Don't need it. Press on your background, or press on BG. Control and A, or press this plus. Add a label. Inspector. Clicks. Colon. Space. Null. Now what you might notice is it's quite small. So while you're still on the label, scroll down all the way to the bottom. Theme overrides. Font sizes 32. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to hold left shift. I'm going to press my right arrow key twice and my down arrow key twice. So now it's not in the corner, and it's quite hard to read on a blue background. So I'm going to keep it selected. I'll just click it again. Go to constants in theme overrides. Outline size, I'm going to put it on 5. And that instantly puts a black border around it. If you don't like the blue, if you don't like the black, go to font outline. You can change it to whatever you want. If you can't see any colour, brighten it up a little bit. And you can. But I prefer the black. Press play now. You're probably thinking, oh, it must work. It's going to stay null forever. Because that is just static text. It's never being told to change. We need to tell it to change. So go back to your script. We need to make a new function. But this isn't a function we're making ourselves. Like this one, it's pre-made. We're going to type func space underscore PRO. And that does process. And what process does is every frame per second. Well, so every frame. No, how do I explain this? For every second, there are so many frames shown on screen. What you usually hear is 60 frames a second, 120 frames a second, 30 frames a second. You know what I mean? So, say you were playing on 30 frames a second, 30 times every second, this would happen. Whatever is in this. Not this. Not this. Not what's here. As long as it's indented below him. So this, although it is still indented, isn't going to happen when the cookie's pressed. Because there's a new function below him. If I got rid of this, now it will. Because it just reads this in a line. Doesn't matter if there's a gap. You could add text here. As long as it's got the hashtag, doesn't matter. But if you keep it like that, it doesn't understand. So, I'm pressing Control Z there to undo. Control Shift and Z to redo. So say I wanted to get rid of that and put it back. Get rid of that, put it back. You can do that. So in process, if you've been sat here listening to me yap, it will go red. That's because there's nothing there, and it's like, what am I going to do? So every frame, we are going to drag label. You can rename the label, which I would recommend. So again, rename, F2, or double click. Rename it score label. And what you're going to do is, while indented, hold, click and drag, and drop it here. You don't want it here. It doesn't matter if it's here. As long as it's indented and below process, it's okay. So score label, dot, text, space, equals. And now we're going to set what it's equal to. So currently, it just says that the label's text is, and we haven't put anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to type some speech marks, or whatever else you call them, quotation marks. Shift and 2 on your keyboard, usually. I think on the American keyboard, it's like Shift and this thing, that thing. You can use them as well, but I prefer speech marks. To zoom in as well, hold left control and zoom in, or you can press on this and zoom in yourself. What I'm going to do, score label.text, score, colon, space. Now the reason we put the space, because if we don't, whatever we put after is going to be squished right up against it. As you can see, we don't want that, we like the gap. So on your script, space there, plus, we don't need an equals here. So before, plus equals 1, because we're adding something to something. So we're adding two numbers. Here, we're adding text and a string. Or, in our case, it is an integer. But we were going to convert it into a string. So if we currently just put global.clicks, it's going to tell us off. Or it should tell us off. So what a good practice to get into is to put str, which changes whatever is inside the brackets to a string. So a string is text. So this here, that is a string. Whereas this is an integer. And that is a float. So a float is something with something after it. So imagine this, that's an integer, float. This, string. But if you were to say say it was a variable called global.clicks. So it reads this as a variable. It goes and it gets its value. But say you wanted it to be put into a text box, you would have to put them around it. No, not them. You have to put some brackets around it and convert it to a string. Now, when I'm saying convert, I'm not saying that this becomes that, but it does. So it reads it, and it does that to it, but it doesn't do that here. It's like imagine having that. So you've got clicks, and you have a second one. And what it's doing is it's taking this, and it's turning it into, well, it's taking this, and it's turning it into this. And then adding it on. So now it's basically saying score. And then it's adding that as well. So it's saying score that. So it's basically just saying that. But because we don't know this, we can't set that before, because it's obviously going to go up. So we're saying score label dot text score colon space plus string global.clicks. And now you'll see before we had it as score is null, now it's 0, because score or global.clicks is 0. Press the button. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's that simple. And that is half an hour. And that is the start of Cookie Clicker. Before we end this first one, we're going to go over here, Control A on your shop, or press the plus, add a panel, and we're just going to drag this. We don't want it to go all the way. Actually, we're going to press this and press this button. So, panel selected, press your anchor preset, and press center top. And then hold left shift, and press your down arrow on your keyboard. Press it twice if you want, or let go of left shift and just use your down arrow. That goes 1 pixel instead of 5. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Control A, or the plus, while holding the panel. And add a label. This you can make size of the panel. So just grab it, move it over, and just name it shop in all capitals. And then while selecting it, go over to your inspector, horizontal alignment, center, vertical alignment, center, scroll down, theme overrides, font sizes, 32. Now, press the game. You can clearly see what's what. This is going to be the cookie. There's your score, and there's your shop. And that is the end of the first episode. Next episode, I'm not going to explain as much. Just going to kind of zoom through and get some gameplay in. We're going to add upgrade buttons. We're going to change this to a cookie, and hopefully add a high score. Or something of the sort, so you can see the most cookies you've ever got, or a statistics button down here. It'll bring up a panel which says this is how many clicks you've ever done, this is how many cookies you've ever had, something like that. But I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.